Guys, thanks for coming. I'm Diesel from 106.5 The End here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Next to me, the 2012 NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, Mr. Brad Keselowski.
Woo, woo, woo.
How you doing, Brad?
Woo. I feel like I have to say woo.
Yeah, you do. Woo!
Woo!
You gotta do the beer real fast, like woo!
Oh, it used to be Junior, but now it's Brad.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It used to be the Junior wave.
I know.
Woo! I wonder what they do for Dale Jr. now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably the same thing.
It's the same thing,
Yeah.
But now they're doing it with Miller Lite instead of Budweiser.
Exactly.
So that's a major win.
Amen. Brad and I were backstage at Food Lion Speed Street earlier this year, and we were at the Miller stage. And remember, Hailstorm was about to go on stage that night, and we were just, backstage having a couple Miller Lights, and Brad came up and he goes, you guys need to play more of this band or that band. I want to say you said Metallica. Like, how come we don't play any more Metallica? And so we got into a long conversation, right?
We did. Yeah, it got heated.
A little bit.
It did. It got heated. The beer was definitely bringing out the heat.
I said, well, after you finish a race, you go back and you review tape, you look at telemetry, you go through all of that stuff and make sure that everything you did was for a purpose. You knew if you were hitting your marks, you knew if you were, going in too fast or coming out of a corner too fast, and way more race terms than I know. But I said, well, music's the same way. Believe it or not, a radio station really does that kind of a thing. I mean, we play the stuff.
You mean you actually have a plan?
We do. I don't just get to go in there and play whatever I want.
It's funny because people say the same thing about racing. I mean, there's actually strategy behind it.
Yeah.
You don't just get in the car and turn left.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo! Junior.
That's funny. I think we have the same listeners as you have
fans.
So we started talking a lot about music and the radio station and, the kind of music that he listened to. And I said, well, look, you got a few things going on right now, the whole race for the chase and whatnot. And you go out there and win a Sprint Cup, and then you can come in and play whatever the hell you want to play. And so you won, and then about a week later, we got a phone call from your boy David, like, hey, Brad wants to come in.
Yeah, I actually meant it.
I know. Well, and,
You were probably thinking to yourself, I'll never hear from that guy again.
Yeah.
And then I followed up with so are we going to do that or not?
Yeah. Well,
Hey, don't feel bad. Most people, I'm never going to do what I said I was going to do.
No,
but for you,
thank you.
I meant it.
I feel so close to you now. The plan for this afternoon, we've been in communication about some types of songs that he likes and wants to play. And, we talked a little bit about where we are going to put them in the hour. And he's going to take some requests off the Twitter feed. So if you're online and you're watching this now and you want to get a request in, it's hashtag BradK1065. 4 to 5, we're going to be on air together. I'm sort of going to drive. He's going to ride shotgun.
Whoa, it's opposite. I'm driving. You're riding
shotgun. At 5, we're going to flip it.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're flipping
and that's
it.
when I'm going to hand you the keys, and you can go ripping around the racetrack.
And I'm going to scare you to death.
Yeah. I'm sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, he's going to have his finger on the bleep button the whole time. Like,
yep.
Oh, don't say it, don't say it.
And I'm pretty sure if I don't, there's somebody in our engineering lab that will. So
that's probably a really good idea.
So before we open it up and take questions, there's something I wanted to hook you up with. This
What's her name?
Something.
It's radio. Nobody can see.
Since you're going to be working on a rock radio station and that you're now an official rock radio DJ, we had to get you your own.
Oh yeah,
rock radio DJ jacket there.
Can I wear it now?
Yeah. Go ahead and put it on.
Thanks,
man.
bro.
Definitely.
Yeah, dude, that's perfect.
And show the back. Here we go. You got the N logo on it.
I feel like I'm a part of the team.
You really are. So you were talking earlier about a hoodie, and I'm like, damn, we should have gotten him a hoodie.
No, this will work.
That's really nice. And that's from Andy and Art Graphics and Apparel. So thank you, Andy, for hooking that up, too.
Andy, thank you. Cheers.
You guys have any questions? Anything you want to ask Brad? Anything?
Twitter asking, are you nervous?
Am I nervous? The more beer I drink, the less nervous I get. So I better start drinking fast.
Yeah. There's a few up here.
I was a little bit nervous, and then some big news story broke today. So I figured no matter what I do, it's probably not going to be that big a deal. And I've got a really powerful joke that I want to say, but I'm just not sure if I can say it yet. So
too soon?
It might be too soon.
No, never too soon in radio.
Okay. Well, maybe I should save it.
Save it for the radio.
I'm gonna save it for the radio.
All right, great.
It'll be part of the news.
The news.
Traffic and the news. Traffic, news, weather.
Yeah, traffic and weather together on the fives.
Together.
It's Brad Keselowski. That'll be funny.
I got my voice. I've been practicing.
It sounds like
on
it.
106.5. The end.
That's good. We'll work on that.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? Got something?
Yeah, we got one who writes, heard that you don't keep the trophy at your house. Does he keep any other memorabilia around the house?
Trophies?
Yeah.
Like racing trophies or other kinds of trophies?
I just wanna know if you keep it.
You know exactly what I'm thinking, don't you?
That's why this show is going to go really well. So crazy. It's like we finish each other's
sentences.
Oh, my
man.
God.
I know. It's weird. It's weird. Oh, damn. I don't really keep a lot. The only real racing trophy that I keep in my house right now, because I just got rid of a bunch of them, I have the most popular driver trophy in my house. And I have I won the fourth quarter driver of the year award. And that one's in my house only because I haven't gotten rid of it yet. But I just got it the other day. But no, I really don't. I think it's weird to have a house with trophies from your own accomplishments. And it's like, hey, I want to build a shrine to myself and live in it.
Right.
Isn't that kind of weird?
Right. Maybe
I just
make
think it's
one
weird.
room like that. I got a room at home where I've got like guitars that have been autographed by some of the artists that I've really.
Yeah, no, that's completely different though, because it's not like your own stuff.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's a memorabilia
I didn't win
room
it.
is one thing, but
Right.
I don't know. I always feel like if I have trophies in my house, like maybe I'm just doing it so that when girls walk in, I have a better shot with them. I don't know. There's no real practical reason elsewise. Like
Does that work?
I mean, it could. I mean, I haven't tried.
Right.
But I mean, hell, I know what I've won. I don't need to be reminded.
Right.
I don't wake up in the morning going, "Oh, I really suck," and then walk by a trophy and go, "Oh, I'm good again." I mean, if you do, you've got terrible self-confidence.
I would think too. Walking into Penske Racing, you get to see all of that stuff, and then when it's time to go home, you don't want to feel like you're.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
exactly it, man. When you're home, you want to relax, kick
Right.
back, drink a beer, maybe play some Madden, which I
Nice.
did last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that didn't go so well.
No.
I'm down 2 remotes. But when I'm home, I'm home. I'm not racing. So the exception being the most popular driver trophy, because it's kind of a reminder of the privilege that it is to drive a race car and to have fans that make it possible.
That's a cool job, driving a race car.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a job.
No.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
kind of like what I do.
it's like you pick something you love to do and you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
That's really
Amen.
sappy.
There's a difference between work and work, Brad. What you do is work.
Yeah, no, so when we actually go on the radio, there's going to be somebody who's a janitor who's really just going to say, F you guys.
Yeah, that's true. And then I'm going to lose my job after our show, and then the janitor's actually going to be doing the radio show. It's probably how that's going to
Hey, can I say F you on the radio? Or is
Yeah,
that,
yeah. you
That's
can do
okay?
that.
All
On
right.
our station, you can.
Okay, is it really there's stations you can't say F you?
Well, and not that the government says you can't, but, if you go on, country radio, it's a little more family-oriented.
Oh, yeah.
Our
That's why I'm
radio
not on
station-
country radio right now.
Right.
I mean, I like
dudes.
country.
Yeah,
I
of course.
mean, I like almost every kind of music. There's a few exceptions. I like almost every kind of music. I just
Gangnam
prefer.
Style, you like that?
No, no.
right.
No. I hear Kyle Busch does, but I like I like almost any kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
But alternative just happens to be my favorite.
That's good. Daytona's coming up. You ready to go? I saw you had you guys were out doing some testing over the last few weeks.
Yeah, we went and we went and wrecked it and got that over with. So
Yeah, good.
you're like, have you wrecked lately? Check.
Yep.
So that was good.
Yeah.
Maybe not for the people that actually work on the cars,
Yeah,
but
no
for
kidding.
me, you gotta understand. This is every race car driver motto. I'm going to share it for you right now. It's
Okay.
I win, we wrecked, you guys fix it. That's every
I like
race
it.
car driver. So it's like, oh, so we wrecked, so you guys go ahead and fix it. So that's like I'll go.
And you-
I'll go do hosting a radio show while you guys are fixing that car.
Good. I'm sure they enjoy that. I'm sure they're listening right now in the shop, like you. Mother...
Yeah, don't worry, man. See, everybody gets so upset about wrecking race cars, but they don't really understand the sport because the cars are disposable. So basically, even if you don't wreck the car, you throw away like half of it. So it's really not that big of a
Really?
deal. So instead of throwing away half, you're now throwing away 75 or 80%. It's not that big of a deal.
So you guys just switched to a new car for this season that's really putting the stock back in stock car, right?
Well, I mean, at least it looks cool.
Yeah, it does look
Yeah,
cool.
I don't know if it's really stock. It just looks more like it's stock.
All right. So what happened to all the cars from last year?
We crushed about half of them.
Really?
And then we took the other half and tried to convert them into these cars. Most of the cars that we're converting are the cars that we test with.
Right.
Every team does it a little differently, but I'm going to assume most of them are pretty close. Some guys sell their cars. Penske Racing doesn't because it doesn't make any sense. Because you work so hard to get all this technology on the car, just to sell it and give it away. That doesn't make any sense. So
and someone else could,
exactly. We crush most of them. Sometimes we'll donate them to schools. The ones that we donate to schools actually are cars that we leave sitting around for about 3 or 4 years. So they'll sit for 3 or 4 years. The technology on them will come outdated, and then we'll donate them to XYZ school. Like there's a NASCAR Technical Institute in Morrisville.
Right.
So they'll get some of our cars. So that's kind of our way of handling it. But it's difficult, man, because you'll walk back there and you'll see these beautiful cars and be like, what are you guys going to do with that? We're like, we're going to crush it. And people look around like, no! It's like the final scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where you just see the
big ball coming down?
Yeah. No, not the big ball. No, I guess it wouldn't be Raiders. Yeah, it is Raiders of the Lost Ark where they're in the warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they go and they park the Ark like in this warehouse of all these boxes. Well, I was in our warehouse part at Penske Racing where they keep all the cars, and there's all these cars, and some of them are like 10 years old, and hidden in the middle of them, all the way in the back, are the cars that I won the championship with. You're like,
all the way in the back.
Yeah, to never be seen again.
Right.
Like it's just kind of sad, man.
That is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Do you have one in your garage at least?
No, I don't. Believe me, when I saw that, I'm like, man, give one to me. I won't sell it.
Yeah, right.
I want it.
Yeah, no kidding.
That'd be cool.
So, rock and roll, you're a fan. You've been a rock and roll fan for a long time? Is that right?
Yeah. Where my real love affair for rock music started, believe it or not, was through racing. When I was a real little kid and my parents would, have to leave to go racing because they raced on their own. My dad raced before me and my mom would go with them and help. They'd leave me with my grandma. And my grandma, she was kind of older and I wasn't old enough to really help her. So she had kind of like a live-in family member of mine, my cousin, who took care of her. And so, she still had the original house that my parents were born in, or my dad's side of the family was born in. And it was just, a house that needed someone to keep up with, and my grandfather passed away. So my cousin moved in, and my cousin was a huge rock music fan. So basically, when my grandma would go to sleep at like 7:30 p.m., and I was still up, we would, have the music turned up and, hammer out some rock tunes.
Yeah.
So I really built like a love affair over that time hanging with my cousin, listening to, simple stuff like Led Zeppelin or things like that. Or just, at that time, alternative music was just really starting to, turn the corner. And that's when I really just developed into a big rock music fan.
Good. Any favorite bands? Anybody that you go out of your way to go find every time you go on tour?
I mean, I really, really, really want to see Pearl Jam just once, man, just once. They actually played this concert in Jacksonville, and my foundation was there with some cars and some military members. And Eddie Vedder was he went through my foundation stuff while I was there, which was so cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
But we were racing somewhere, so I couldn't be there.
It would be cooler if he gave a donation. Did he write you a check?
No, he didn't. But,
No?
he got on stage.
Eddie Vedder, come on.
Yeah. But he got on stage and gave our foundation this huge shout-out to his whole crowd. It's really cool. So I really want to meet him. Because of that, I love his music, don't get me wrong, but because of that, he's probably, my number one right now.
Cool.
I just thought that was
really
classy, man.
Well, maybe we'll end up playing some Pearl Jam today.
We should look into it.
Hello.
I don't know how he developed that, by the way.
Marbles. Mouth up with marbles.
Yeah, we'll go with marbles. It was definitely nothing else.
No. Any more questions off Twitter? Got any over there?
Just what are you looking forward to in the 2013 season?
What am I looking forward to? After today's news, intergarage relationships. You don't know what happened.
I don't. I haven't heard. This is news to me.
Yeah, Danica's got a boyfriend.
Already?
Came out. Yeah, it's like one of the headlines on Sports.
Oh, it is?
Right now.
See, I saw the tweet, but I thought that was a joke about it.
No, man.
That's for real?
Yeah, it's for real.
That's crazy.
By the way, I stole that line from David Newton. But I am looking forward to it. I agree. I mean, unless Dale Jr. wins the 500 or Juan Pablo wrecks into another jet dryer. Because
that's entertainment.
Those two would have to actually happen together. then we would have a bigger story.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That'd be the biggest ratings ever for the Daytona 500, which is hard to top. Oh, I have a question for you. You've got a new teammate, right?
sure,
Logano?
Joey Logano.
All right, so you're a little bit older than Joey Logano. You now have a championship under your belt. You got, Joey's a good dude. He's been in, for a few years. But
Do you know Joey?
Yeah. Tell me,
He's
you
funny. Yeah.
have hazed him somehow.
No,
There's had to be some.
Here's
pranks.
the thing: Penske Racing hired this driver by the name of Ryan Blaney, who somehow is younger than Joey Logano. I didn't know it was possible. I thought they, quit making young drivers like that. And so Joey Logano is now like the sophomore. So I've been telling him, man, you know what I mean? Like he was a freshman like his whole career, and now there's finally somebody younger. So I can just see it right now. He's gonna be the guy that hazes Ryan Blaney about being so young. You know how when you went to high school and you were a freshman in that whole year, like I just can't wait till I'm sophomore.
Right.
Then freshman, I'm gonna.
I never got picked on though.
You never got picked
Yeah,
on?
I know I did.
Yeah, I think we all. You work on radio. You definitely got picked
I
on.
work in radio. Why do you think I work in radio? I'm a complex. Look how cool I am. So anybody else? You got anything else?
Will these songs have anything personal? I mean, do they come from any specific place?
Oh yeah, a few of them we have some stories to share. A couple of them. One in particular was when I first moved to North Carolina and took up residence on the Dale Jr. compound. So that one's pretty cool. But they've all got a little personal flavor or touch to them, and that's what makes that's what makes them special. Because I was saying it earlier, the thing about music that is great is it's an awesome way to tell a story, and it's just a way of telling a story without it being really boring, But it can tell a story about your life. It can tell a story about what you need to be motivated. I mean, it just offers so many different perspectives, and that's why I have such a love affair with it. But every one of these songs certainly has some kind of meaning to me.
Just looking over the list, one thing I noticed, and you sent me a list of potential songs we may play, but as I went through a lot of those, I noticed texturally there was a lot of difference in there. I mean, some's a little heavier guitar, some's got slower, more melodic feel. So it was really kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fairly diverse. I mean, I know I said that earlier, but I feel like the selection will be diverse. What do you think? There is definitely
ratings will tell. Won't
they? They will tell. There's definitely going to be some hard rock in there.
Yeah,
which is what I requested.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be cliche and go with the easy hits. Like anyone can play a Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like
we do.
Yeah, and you do, but
yeah.
But I didn't want to be that guy. You can be that guy.
Yeah. Well, by the way, that song really works on radio too.
I bet it does, man. It's just it feels cliche if I do it. Like, oh wow, he's so cool. He picked that song. How do you know?
Right.
Like, I don't know. This was the #1 song in the world.
Right. Exactly.
For like I don't know.
Yeah. Still
6 months period. It was probably the #1 song in the world.
Oh, at least. Yeah. It was almost an entire year at #1. So. Just a couple of housekeeping things. We are going to be streaming the show online via our iHeartRadio app. The link is on our website, 1065.com. But we're going to do something.
By the way, that's a badass app.
Oh, you got the iHeartRadio app?
No, I don't, but I wish I did.
No, well, it's free. It's in the app store.
I know.
Go download it.
I need to download it. Every time I say I'm going to download it, I forget. And so I rely on David Hovis, PR Guy of the Year, to
I even have a note right here about David Hovis. You see that?
Best in the biz.
I wrote a note about you, David. Look at you.
I wonder what he does with his trophies as PR Guy of the Year. Do you keep them in your house? Parents have them?
That's great. We're also going to give him an in-car cam while we're back in the studio. So you'll be able to watch what happens in a radio studio.
So I shouldn't pick my nose?
No. Well, I mean, you can. It's rock radio.
Okay. Rock radio, pick noses,
they
all
kind of
right.
expect you to pick your nose and maybe cut a fart or two. So we'll see.
Happens, man. It does happen.
Does that happen in your fire suit there?
Oh, God. In the middle of a race sometimes, you'll be going and you'll have the belts pulled tight and you'll be, like, stressed out and it's really hard. It's hard to fart.
I bet it is.
Because you have these belts pulled really tight. But every once in a while, you'll be like jiggling around because all the bouncing makes you have to fart, right?
Right.
And so every once in a while, it'll be like under yellow, you like loosen up your belts and go, oh God. And tighten it back up. You're like, all right, now I'm going to win this damn race.
Yeah. I have just learned more about racing in the last 30 seconds than.
It's a remarkable feeling.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it for anyone who's never farted in a fire suit. It does smell really bad because that's the other problem you have. It's got nowhere to go.
I did not mean to take this in that
You're
direction.
stuck. I mean, once it goes, you're like, all right, that just happened.
Yeah, because it's not like you have an AC blowing on you.
Well, I do have an AC blowing on me.
But it's in the helmet,
It's
right?
in the helmet.
Yeah,
but
so that doesn't help.
The way the fire suit vents, it goes right up your neck, though.
Yeah.
So it's just not a winning situation.
Giving yourself the old Dutch oven. And
Exactly.
around the track. Nice. All right, so now that
did you really just bring out Dutch oven?
I did. I really did.
FCC has no problem with Dutch oven.
Dutch oven in a press conference. So. Bucket list check. All right.
Dude, I have a feeling we're going to check a lot of things.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. So we'll go do some rock radio, and then you got a Daytona race to win here in a little bit. But Twitter hashtag BradK1065. Make sure you're going on there with requests. We'll be checking that while we're in there. 1065.com. That's got the streaming video of why we're going to be in the studio. And also a hello to Susan McIlvain of Rock Hill. Where's Susan at? Susan is
the Suze. I'm going with the Suze.
She's she's the winner of the auction to come with the proceeds that benefit Brad's Checkered Flag Foundation. So
Right here. We're going up top.
So
thank you very much.
she won the bid. She's here to rock it. She's been here all day. She's been drinking since like 10 o'clock
Really?
this morning.
Do you want another beer?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. We have plenty of free
We'll
beer.
take that with us. Don't worry.
All right.
All right, great. So if there isn't anything else,
I'm good. I can't believe David Newton didn't ask anything. Look at the face he just made. He's over there tweeting because he's lit up my phone. Look at all these tweets he's sent. Some of these have come from 1065. Look at this.
That's crazy. I guarantee you there's going to be a tweet in there, hashtag fart in a fire suit.
Hold on. Let me look.
That'll be trending before you know it.
There is some topic. It might be.
Of course.
It might be trending. You're right. In the Charlotte area.
Great. All right. Well, if that's it, thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Detroit. Charlotte.